Hey everybody, welcome back to another Vinny Vid Productions video. Yes, I am back. Today is July 14th and I am going to be doing my first new video since I've been absent from YouTube. Anyhow, I had some input from some of my subscribers that told me that I should be doing a little bit of modification on my gas station. So let me tell you what's going to happen here. Where you see the back of the police car to the gas pumps, I'm going to extend that area right there. And I'm also going to extend, now let's see if I can move this, let's see. I'm also going to extend this front part right here. Anyhow, let's see how I'm going to do that. So stay tuned and we will be right back. Alright guys, we are back down at my work area, and thanks to Mark Saunders and Roy Hardwick, there's a couple modifications I'm going to make on this gas station that makes total sense to do. First of all, this piece right here is factory. You can't change that, so whatever I change, I have to change on either side of the gas pumps. So very gently, what I did was use my chisel blade and went under here and pulled this guy up. And then what I did was I moved this guy, again, very gently getting under here. And I moved him back to here. And then, because this is all one piece, I took him and moved him here. And then took this piece that I took out and put him on this side right here. And so now I have gained a lot more space between the parked cars and the gas pumps. Because of that, now this part is too close to the road. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to extend that by putting this piece in here, like that. And that will give me enough room to have, let's say, a car on this side, because I intend to put pumps on both sides of the stanchions. I don't know why they didn't design it like that, but I want there to be enough room for cars to drive around and so on and so forth. And then I'm going to hopefully sand this down and give me a little driveway here, and I also may curve this piece right here. I'm not sure yet, but let's get the basic thing down first, and that is to put all three of these pieces together. One thing I did like about this gas station kit is all of this that you see here, as far as the concrete pad, was all included in the kit. So that was a good thing. So I was able to do this, and I actually have one little piece left. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and glue all this together, and we'll see how that's going to work out. All right. So let me switch over, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, one thing I want to show you on these foundation or sidewalk pieces, whatever you want to call them. If you can see, if I can get close enough, you can see that little round circle there, and here on the end over here. Those are where they were attached to the casting sprue, I guess. But you see how deep the lines are here? Now if you turn it over to the good side, you can hardly see those lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blade, I'm going to go on the back side of my blade, and I'm going to groove out all of these plus the one that we're going to build here to make the lines more pronounced. And then I will mask some of the stuff off and repaint it and put this all back together. So the second modification was from Roy Hardwick via Grandpa Rails. He said that the lines, let's see if I can get this in a better shot here where you can see this. None of this stuff is glued together. The roof is not done. I got to touch up and all that. Anyhow, he said that the lines on the handicap should be blue, and he is correct. But I also did a little research on it, and the yellow is okay. Some places just had white. Some of them just had this small sticker and a sign right here. But also, back to Mark Saunders, he said that I should make these a bit wider, so I'm going to do that. I did talk to Mark S. He is from Highways and Byways, and I asked him if they can do blue lines, and he said that they were going to do it. I don't know how soon I'm going to get them. I'm trying to get them before my live stream on the 15th, but I don't think that's going to happen. Anyhow, let's continue on with this, and we'll see how it goes on. By the way, I did not glue this in place because I eventually am going to put lighting in here. So anyhow, let's get on with what I'm doing. This Vinny Vid production brought to you by Yankee Dabbler. For all your model railroad needs, check out Yankee Dabbler. Don't forget, 7% discount with BNSF 6951. And by Highways and Byways, awesome street graphics for your roads and streets on your model railroad layout. If you guys are looking for sophisticated model railroad electronics, Logic Rail Technologies has what you need. For a 5% discount on certain items, use code BNSF6951. Alright guys, now it's time for the next step on your layout. Trees! I have been dealing with Bob for 7 years now, and he does excellent work on his trees. So if you need some trees on your layout, check out Long Shadow's Trees. Tell him the Cuz sent you. guys, now that I had this piece all cut out, and we're going to attach it to the rest of this foundation. What I'm going to use, because I don't want to raise this up too much, is this clear plastic, and it is 5,000 sticks, so it's not going to raise everything that much. So I'm just going to lay it underneath there, and I am going to glue this to the bottom side of this and this, so it all become one. But before I do that, what I need to do is roughen this surface up a little bit, because it's way too glossy and I don't think the glue would hold on to it very well. So what I have here is just a piece of 600 grit sandpaper or emery cloth, whatever you want to call it, and I'm just gonna scuff this up a little bit, just so the glue has a surface to adhere to. Turn it on this way. Now I'm going to waste a lot of glue on this, but I don't care, because it won't make it very strong, but at least I can move, when I move it, it'll all move as one unit. Anyhow, that's that. Now I'm just going to get a piece of paper towel and just wipe it off a little bit. All right. Now, a little tip for you guys. I have a bad habit of, when I take the pin out of here and I lay it down, I always wind up not finding it when I need it. So what I do is I took a piece of masking tape and put it on the wall right in front of me. So when I take the pin out of here, I just take it and I put it in this piece of masking tape that I have up on the wall right there. Anyhow, I'm going to commence to glue this. We're going to use this whole sheet, and we're going to put it in like that. So here we go. Alright guys, so we got that all set up now. Now what we got to do is add this little front piece here. And I'll trim all the plastic down when I get done with this, but this little plastic piece is going to go here. And then there's going to be some other modifications I'm going to make to this that you guys will might want to use when you do if you do this gas station. Will help a little bit with some detail. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and, how much do we need? Up to this line right here. Okay. And when you do this kind of stuff, always make sure you're real good at the edges, because that's where, if anything's going to happen, that's where it'll peel up at first, will be the edges. And always put a fair amount of glue where you want your plastic to adhere to. Alright, so now we'll take this piece here and we'll line up our expansion joints, and we'll stick him in place, pull him tight. Now the piece with the stanchions and the gas pump, when I'm finally finished with that, with lighting and all that stuff, is when I will finally glue that piece down. But other than that, it's going to stay loose until I'm ready for it. Some other stuff I'm going to do to this, you guys know that when a tanker truck comes in, right, it needs a place to dump its fuel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate that by putting a couple of pieces of this I don't remember what number rod it is. Hold on, and I'll tell you what size it's going to be. I don't want to give you wrong information. But yeah, this rod is going to serve two purposes. This is it here. Right? Yeah. All right, so we're going to be using this number 210 rod, and I'm going to drill a couple of holes. I'm going to drill 3 holes here along the side here, and we're going to paint the one red, one blue, and one yellow, and we're going to stick these in the ground, and that'll be where the filler pipes are. Also, gas stations also have vent pipes, so I'm going to use the same size rod, but here in the back I'm going to put, I don't know, 4, maybe 6 of these pipes up here to represent how many tanks are underground. So let's see, it would be 2, 1 for that, so it would be 3 huge tanks, maybe 4, I don't know, 6 tanks, whatever. Anyhow, I'll put these pipes up here and I'll build some sort of a bracket so they're a little bit more sturdy, but I will drill holes to put these guys into. Anyhow, excuse me, let's stay tuned for that. We'll be back here in a few minutes. Alright guys, next on the agenda is I'm going to start drilling those holes like I told you, to be where the tanker truck would unload his fuel into the tanks underground. So I'm using a real tiny bit. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know what size it is. I can't see the number. But anyhow, I already got the first hole drilled out. I'm going to try and get these as close as possible. Now remember, I said I was using this number 210, no 110, which is sorry about that. I think I just gave you the wrong number. But I'm going all the way through. I'm trying to get these as straight across as possible so they look pretty uniform. Alright, there we go with that one. And with the same drill bit, I'm going to drill a couple of holes back here for vent pipes. I think I'm going to put 6 back there. It's probably going to be more if this is like if it's got diesel and all the different grades of gas. Alright, so now we have my 3 holes built. Now, this is the rod that I'm going to be putting in there. And as you can see, it fits perfectly in the hole. So what I'm going to do is I will chop 3 pieces off, and I will go ahead and stick them in here like this, and then paint the tips the 3 different colors, and then I'll push it through, glue it from the bottom, and snip it off at the bottom. Anyhow, okay, that's the first thing. Now I'm going to go ahead and do some drilling back here also. I'll do that in time lapse. Alright guys, I didn't want to confuse you. I am going to be using number 210 for something else, but for the piping I'm using this number 210. So, and it is a 30 thousandths rod. So I already got my 3 holes drilled here. Now I'm going to drill about 6 holes back here, and we'll put some piping back there also. Anyhow, stay tuned, we'll be right back. Alright guys, so there you go. I got my 6 holes drilled for my vent pipes. I got my 3 holes drilled for my filler neck thingamabobbers. So we're just going to go ahead and carry on with this. I'm going to go ahead and cut pipes out right now. I don't know how long I'll make them. Maybe 10 feet, 12 feet, I don't know. Anyhow, we'll go ahead and continue on with this. So stay tuned. We'll be back shortly. Alright guys, as you can see, I've got this all masked off because I just gave this a fresh coat of paint. I did put these pipes in the back for vents, but I'm not very happy with them because they're too thin and they bend a little bit, so I gotta go to the hobby shop and pick up some the next size in the piping. But I did do a little bit of research and I found out that there's actually 4 colors that go into the ground underground tanks. There's a red, blue, white, and green. So I reconfigured this. I filled in the holes with some putty, sanded it all down, and so now this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to mask all of that off. I'm going to do 2 colors first, and then I'll do the second 2 colors. Anyhow, with all that being said, let's get on with that project. So stay tuned, and we will be right back. Alright guys, as you can see, I've got this all masked off now. I'm going to do two colors now. I'm going to let it dry, then I'll mask those off and do the other 2 colors. Anyhow, it doesn't matter which way I do it. I'm going to start with the white, just a regular white, and it's a apple barrel. And again, the same thing with the green. I just picked any green. I don't think it's going to make a difference. So anyhow, let's get started with this. Alright, and usually when I'm going to do something small like this, I will just use whatever's in the cap. So we'll just do that, little dippy doo doo right there, and we just do that, and I don't want too much of the white on there. Just enough. Alright, I do have some water over here that I can clean the brush off. And we'll wipe it down with this. Okay. Yeah, close this guy up. Because knowing me, I'll probably knock it over. Alright, we're going to do the same thing with the green. I got a different brush for it. And we'll wait for these guys to dry, and then we'll go ahead and do the other 2 colors. Just doing this to give it just a little bit more detail, separate it from someone else's model. Alright, just a little dab of green right there, and paint that guy in there. And I did drill a hole, so I will put some what appears to be pipes or connectors right there. That's looking actually pretty good. Alright, so now we'll just wait for that guy, those 2 guys to dry up, which shouldn't take very long, and then we'll do the other 2 colors, and then we'll call this video good because it is getting quite long. It's already about 25 minutes or so. So there'll be more detail that I'll be adding to this. I'll have decals coming for it and so on and so forth like that. But meanwhile, I'm just going to go ahead and finish this up. And like I said, we'll call this good. So stay tuned. When this dries, I'll bring you back. We'll do the other two colors. Be right back. Alright guys, let's go over what I've done so far on this gas station. For today, what I did was I swapped some of this stuff around to give me more room here. I also added a bit more on the front side here, which will be a driveway here and a driveway here when I get to that. I'm going to leave the pumps the way they are because I think if I add pumps in the front, then the cars would have to be out here, so it'd be kind of tough for these guys to get around. So I'm going to leave the pumps the way they are. Another thing I'm thinking about doing here in the front is adding something like this. Let me turn this around a bit. Get this guy out of the way. Adding something like this in the front just to give it a little bit more. Of course, this is I borrowed this from one of my things on the inside. But I can do is put it here and make my driveway there and make my other driveway here. So that's something for me to think about also. Now, the other thing I did on this build today is I added my colors here and also added my vent pipes back here, which I told you earlier I'm going to be replacing those. But anyhow, these all need to get touched up, but basically when they're dry, I will go ahead and do the tips of some pipe of the same size piping as that and just put it in the hole just to look like there's a connection there. Anyhow, with all of that being said, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed part 2 of the gas station renovation. As always, your questions, comments, input, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all, folks. BNSF 6951 out. By the way, these will get widened up a bit. I'm expecting the blue stripes maybe today. Unfortunately, it won't be in time for me to do it in this video. But there's still more stuff I need to do. Air conditioning and vents and all that stuff up here. Decals to make the place, look a little bit more presentable, blah, 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 and all that kind of good stuff. Anyhow, again, hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video. And as always, your questions, comments, input, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all, folks. BNSF 6951 Vinny Vid Productions video out for now.